already using Burning with Kinich, do we have other options? But if you don't have very good stats on the Obsidian Codex, don't worry. There are some other strong alternatives. Wait, a completely free 2-play weapon is his best in slot? So Kinich is live, and the fact that you're here means you've already completed the first step to building your Kinich like a god. From the best artifacts to his most insane team comps and rotations. By the end of this video, you'll have all the knowledge to make Kinich one of your strongest characters in Genshin Impact. Let's get started! Now, let's talk about Kinich's playstyle, which is unlike any other Dendro character in the game. Kinich is all about fast-paced combat, with a focus on mobility and burst damage. By pressing his elemental skill, he grapples a nearby enemy with his hook and enters Night Soul Blessing state. In this state, you can swing around the enemy very fast, generating Night Soul points. You can also use his normal attack, which will count as elemental skill damage, letting you generate Dendro particles. Additionally, his skill produces a random triangle around the enemy. When you touch this triangle, you get extra Night Soul points. Once you've gathered enough Night Soul points, you can fire the Scale Spiker Cannon by pressing his normal attack, dealing massive Dendro damage. This is the main portion of Kinich's DPS, and you can expect to fire up to 4 Scale Spiker Cannon shots in a good rotation. And if you're using him with Natlan teammates, the Night Soul burst triggered by them will significantly increase the Scale Spiker Cannon's damage once per rotation. The Night Soul Blessing lasts for 10 seconds, and you'll see a timer above his head.
3, 2, 1, go.
Using his elemental burst, he summons the almighty Dragon Lord, Kuhul Aja, dealing AoE Dendro damage. Aja will unleash Dragon Breath every 2 seconds, dealing Dendro DMG. If Kinich is a Night Soul Blessing when this is used, it will extend Night Soul's duration by 1.7 seconds, giving you more opportunities to fire more Scale Spiker Cannon shots. We'll cover his perfect rotation team section. For talent priority, level up his skill first, then his burst, and feel free to ignore the normal attack, just like you ignored the like button. For artifacts, his best in slot is the 4-piece Obsidian Codex, giving him not only a 40% crit rate boost, but also increasing the damage he deals by 15%. But if you don't have very good stats on the Obsidian Codex, don't worry. There are some other strong alternatives. The 4-piece Unfinished Reverie is the best alternative to Obsidian Codex. It comes very close in terms of damage output, so if you've got good stats, go for it without hesitation. If you somehow have Emilie, you can use the 4-piece Cinder City set, which buffs both Emilie and Kinich. But since most of you don't have Emilie, don't worry too much about this. While farming for the Obsidian Codex, you can use temporary options like the 4-piece Maréchaussée Hunter, if you're using Farina with him, 4-piece Golden Troops, or 2-piece Deepwood Memory, paired with 2-piece Gladiator. These are solid filler sets while you wait for better drops. For artifact stats, it's pretty straightforward. Use attack percent on Sands, Dendro DMG bonus on Goblet, and crit rate or crit DMG on Circlet. Try to maintain a 1-to-2 crit ratio for the best damage output. For substats, prioritize crit rate, damage, then attack percentage, some flat attack, and energy recharge would not hurt either. And hey, before we move on to weapons, if you're still watching this video, why not subscribe? Let's see if we can hit 100 subscribers before the end of September. Next, let's dive into weapons. This is where things get interesting. He has a great free-to-play option, but for best in slot, his signature weapon provides an enormous base attack, making the attack percent stats on your artifacts skyrocket. Other strong 5-star options include the Beacon of the Reed Sea, which provides quite a lot of damage. Wolf's Gravestone is also good when its buff is active. For 4-star options, R5 Earthshaker is his best F2P choice, and the overall best 4-star option. Serpent's Spine has issues when dealing with burning reactions, but you can use it if you have it refined. Let's talk constellations. And please don't skip this part. Kinich is great at C0. But if you're lucky enough to snag some constellations, here's what you should know. C1. This gives you increased crit DMG on Scale Spiker Cannon and a 30% movement speed boost. C2. Even better. This increases the AoE and damage of Scale Spiker Cannon, while also lowering the Dendro Arius of enemies, allowing you to one-shot entire groups of enemies. C3 and C5 increase the levels of his elemental skill and burst. C6, beyond broken. Now, Scale Spiker Cannon not only deals damage to enemies but bounces between them, dealing 700% of Kinich's attack as Dendro damage. If you're going for constellations, C1 and C2 are the safe spots. His C1 can be better than his weapon. Now, let's get into the best team comps for Kinich. But first, we need to discuss how important burning is. In his kit, Kinich's passive revolves around burning, so it's important to have it active. Now let's add Bennett in mixture. They both have a great synergy together. But you face some problems sticking in Bennett's circle. Now finish the team with Xiangling and a Deepwood memory support like Kole or Traveler. You'll deal massive damage and burn through everything in your path. If you don't want to use Xiangling, here's a budget option that even low AR players can use to clear Spiral Abyss. Swap Xiangling with Yanfei using the thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. This team provides both Pyro and Dendro resonance and gives an enormous attack boost to Kinich. And the fun part is, you don't even need to build Yanfei or Kole. Just equip Thrilling Tales on Yanfei and a 4-piece random Deepwood set on Kole, and you're good to go. You can also run Dehya with the Tenacity set if you prefer. If you're lucky enough to have Emilie, she's one of Kinich's best teammates, as her kit revolves entirely around burning reactions. And yes, you can use Furina with him, but Xiangling is recommended for maintaining burning uptime, while Yao Yao serves as both the healer and Deepwood applicator. Kinich also works well in Hyperbloom teams, with Raiden Shogun as the preferred Electro applicator. Although Kinich might get fewer Scale Spiker Cannon shots, Raiden's Hyperblooms more than make up for the damage. For an optimized rotation, use Bennett's skill and burst to apply Pyro, then activate Kinich's skill to fire one Scale Spiker Cannon, use his burst if it's available, and make sure to touch the triangles. With this setup, your enemies won't stand a chance. Kinich is an excellent burning DPS, but he's still missing a key Pyro character. The subscribers of this channel already know who that character is. Anyway, build Kinich using the tips in this guide, but remember, you'll need more characters to complete endgame challenges, and Kazuha is one of the most used characters and a core member of many meta teams, so make sure you give him the proper build he deserves in 2024. Here is the updated Kazuha video you are looking for.